Hello, Nevada Realtors, and welcome to the final episode of, I can't say it's not soup yet because now it's actually soup.
It's soup. The finale, it's soup.
You guys have been cooking for a while. So
the onions are fully cooked. The beans are in. It's soup, baby.
I want to take a second real quick before this gets any crazier. First off, I want to thank all the Nevada Realtors out there, the 12 of you that tuned in on a regular basis. It meant a lot that you sent the nice messages, and to the one person that sent the nasty message,
too bad. It's over.
We thank you for that too. I want to give a special shout out to, first off, the amazing team at Nevada Realtors, Teresa McKee, Tiffany, all of the ones that were involved, carrying the water, doing the hard work for the session. I just got to tell you, it's an amazing accomplishment that they go through every 2 years, and just the prep work to get there is pretty impressive. I also want to give a big shout out to Carrera Nevada and Rocky and Jenny and their entire team. They got
great pens.
They got great pens. They do so much work, and you guys can't fathom being there 120 days every day in that building, going through what they are. And each year they bring a great return to us and are great partners. And more importantly, we also want to thank all of our realtor champions, all of those that were there explaining our realtor issues, that were sitting at the table, that understand our industry and our business. And while we always don't agree on every topic, all of us are returning back to the real estate career that we love so much and we're doing this for. And last but not least, the two guys I get to sit with each week to do this, our state president, Mr. Tom Blanchard, and our legislative chair, Mr. Keith Lynam. You guys have done an amazing job. People should know that you don't get paid to do this. So you do it out of the kindness of your heart. And so they should take that into any results that you brought through as well. What'd you say?
I thought we got paid. Hold on a minute.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah.
So first off, I think everyone would like to hear from both of your standpoint, how you thought the total session went as a whole. And so let's start with Tom.
Oh, okay.
You are the president, so we'll give you one benefit.
So the session, I think, went extremely well. We were. I'm going to steal some of Keith's thunder, right? We were prepping for a Democrat governor, right, all last year. We got a Republican governor, and so we were then prepping to make sure that he wouldn't have to veto everything.
Sure.
And lo and behold, he's more than he. I mean, some people have called him Don Vito. Thank you, Governor Lombardo, for being the backstop that we needed to keep Nevada safe and secure from a legislative grips of what was potentially some really lousy tasting soup.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. Keith, your thoughts on the session as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, Tom's right because he.
Wait! Stop! Hold it. What'd you say?
Stop it! You're getting soup on yourself.
I'm trying to finish the sentence. I said Tom's right because he listened to what I said earlier and he just parroted what I said. So he's absolutely right, 1,000% right. No, I mean a couple of things. First of all, there are groups that won't get what we do and they'll never get it because they're incapable of it. But we managed this session, I thought, really, really well. Yeah. With the LMT, with Tom and his leadership team and Carrera, we could have easily have screamed and hollered and really done what other groups do and really put us behind the eight ball. That's number one. Number two, the difference between, and I've been doing this for a while, Carrera has established us as a major player. These elected officials not only want to meet with us, they want to work with us. They don't put us in the background. They invite us right in. And then finally, and I'll just specifically, because I know we're going to talk about this, AB 298, and that's what Tom was talking about earlier. We started this with a different governor. Much of what we wanted was either stripped or not put in to begin with. The 4 and under, the real property transfer tax that we wanted to be put in there. But more than anything, and this is what really made a difference for us this session, is that we could point to that bill and say, we're supporting that bill. And we don't support the rest of these draconian things that are landlord-tenant, rent control, And that made us a lot of inways with people. And we thought we were doing the same for the governor. But as Tom said, governor said, hold my beer. I don't need cover. I'll veto what I want to veto because it's not my bailiwick. It's not my philosophy. I'm not going to agree to rent control. And for a man that, built a career facing angry bullets, that's something pretty easy for him. So hats off to the governor.
He's not gun shy.
So, Keith, you made a great point, and I do want to give a shout out to the LMT who spent countless hours reading all of these bills, providing their input as realtors, giving you guys multiple perspectives, and then as well to the entire legislative team and the entire state PAC that work on all of these different aspects. I think one of the things that every Nevada realtor should understand as well is even though the session is over, your team is still going to be working on the way it's regulated. And so when these bills come back to local municipalities to be regulated and how they're going to be enacted, we see some changes happen then. So while we do have some soup, some spices may still be added and accompaniments to make the difference come out. So I think that's important to think of too.
No spice for you. No spice for you.
Well, let's get into some bills. So, you just mentioned 298. What are some other bills that, we talked about through the session that you saw some changes in that maybe are good or bad for the industry?
Haiti, Assemblywoman Haiti Kasama learned a lesson in politics this year, and it got ugly. She had a bill that was a great bill. It was a bill for consumers. It eliminated those 40-year listing agreements where they gave a few $1,000 and tied them for 40 years to a listing agreement. And then also allows the property managers to create some agency. It was a good bill. It got caught up in politics, and it died. Mm-hmm. But the team was able to get that into another bill. It's almost in its entirety. And so that got put into another bill. I don't have it in front of me. But we did what they did to us.
SB 355 was what it got put into.
Nice.
So it got put into that, and we used what happened to us a couple sessions ago. We used a conference committee, or Carrera did, and got that put in there. The difference being our bill was out on both houses. So there you go. But that was an important one for us. That was an important one. Tom?
SB 78. What happened to 298? They removed the rent control portion, mm-hmm. Which the governor vetoed, and then took the rest of it, which included the application fee issues, having the appendix to list all the fees when you go to rent a place to live in. Those things were put into SB 78 and is sitting on the governor's desk currently. And, while we're talking about the governor's desk, let's talk about what happens if he doesn't sign the bills. If he vetoes them now, they're gone until 2025 in the beginning of that session, and they can be overturned.
Sure.
Right?
By a two-thirds majority?
By a two-thirds majority. So this next election cycle, not to help ensure that we don't have the kind of issues that we're having now, where you have the assembly with a two-thirds supermajority and the Senate with just one vote away from a supermajority. If those things continue and we do have supermajorities in both houses, those things that the governor has vetoed now, which is bad law, will come back to haunt us and become law in 2025. And it's hard to see us fight this fight and come out pretty unscathed just to have everything get overturned in 2025. So the next elections have consequences, and this next election cycle is going to be no different.
Yeah, the likelihood that the Senate will have a supermajority next is high, if not almost guaranteed. That the Democrats will have a two-thirds majority. So it really will come down to the Assembly and seeing if that changes, that supermajority changes. And so Tom's right. Coming back, the likelihood of some of that stuff. Now, even with supermajorities, it's still tough to get an override. So
sure,
it isn't a guarantee, but it's more likely for sure. So it almost would have rather had it come back this session, but. It is what it is. It's coming back, and as we sit here now, they're debating the A's and seeing whether we're going to have a baseball team, and that's the only thing that'll be happening. After that, I don't think there's going to be any other special sessions. But second special session is underway.
Well, that's awesome. So just a couple of things to remind everybody. There will be a number of legislative wraps not wraps like as in wraps or soup or any of that. Just information that will come out from the group that will come out from the group to kind of give you a complete breakdown of what's happening. Absolutely make sure that you attend any of the local meetings at your association where they're giving political affairs updates. Rocky and his team get on the tour wagon. They go around the state and they share with all the realtors around the state of what had happened in the session and kind of a complete overview and recap, which is always great information. I know that we're getting one just this next coming week on Tuesday at the board meeting, so that's going to be huge. Make sure that you're also taking your legislative update class and that it is for the current session of the things that happen, because if you got to get those CE credits, you might as well find out the things that are happening and affecting you now. I want to give you guys a shout out for an issue that I jumped in on right away, and I understood it wasn't soup yet, but that was the septic issue, AB 220 here in Vegas. One of the cool things about the way that kind of worked out is that it wasn't as bad as it looked. It wasn't as bad as it could be, but it's still something that's going to affect many homeowners that are on a septic system. But now it's workable. It's one of those things where it's now in regulation, and as it comes through that process, we're going to see some things that are going to impact the industry and some changes. I know the local boards are looking at some disclosures and information just to, prepare the agents for it. But a lot of moving parts will happen now that these bills become law, and a lot of reaction from our industry as we put them into practice.
Right,
so,
because the water.
Chris,
Go ahead.
no, I was just kidding. Chris, that's a perfect example of what I've termed it's not soup yet. I mean, that started off as a crappy bill, but once it was flushed through the system, it came out the other end, and it wasn't as murky as we thought. There was more substance and fiber to it, and we actually got all of our amendments done. And it was a pretty solid bill when we got done. It was pretty voluntary. So
sounds like you had too much soup for that one, but
But the water district now has to come up with the funding to be able to do all this stuff, right? So there's a lot of stuff that's still going to be in the works.
stuck in the pipes.
We got to flush out the pipes so that everything flows correctly as we move forward. And let's face it, we do live in a desert.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm in part a little political wisdom on my end.
Oh, can't wait for this.
Right,
Only
I know. So
30 episodes in, and here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
So
buckle up, people.
we do need to recirculate as much money.
Yeah.
And it's another reason why the stadium would be so important.
Let's not
because
go there.
all those people that are going there drinking beer will help increase Lake Mead's level, because that gets recycled back into Lake Mead.
There was a chance we could have been picked up by YouTube as a credible organizational
not
show,
anymore.
but not anymore.
So, we just we need to recycle as much as we can, whether it be trash or anything else.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom, for that insightful investment in our time. We appreciate that. I apologize to all the viewers for that time you'll never get back. Anything you guys have final to say on the session, or anything you want to leave the group with, other than what Tom just shared?
Yeah, I'm verklempt over that heartwarming recycling from Jane Fonda. Hey, now's the time. Invest in your PAC. This is there's a reason why we get things done, and the PAC is truly important for us. We've got the Realtor Champion PACs. We've got all these PACs set up, and now it's time to stand up. Invest in your industry. Invest in your business. Invest in and allow real estate to remain at the forefront. So do that. And thank you, Chris, for what you did hosting this thing. You did a great job trying to wrangle us two knuckleheads together. Thank you, Chris, and we appreciate you.
Because again, the fight has just begun. Again, this was one battle. It's there, but 2025 is just around the corner, and we have to prepare. And we prepare by refilling our PACs
Yeah.
with the funds necessary to be able to make sure that those that are realtor champions and realtor friendly get elected, so that we have the ability to do what we just did this session.
I think
That's
that
important.
point is huge, because not only that, but it reminds me that as we go into these election cycles, we are looking for great candidates within our industry that would be willing to run for office, that can help carry the water and be part of that. What better candidates than small business owners that are there building communities on a daily basis? I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Amen. Amen. Reach out to Career Nevada. That's the first step if you're thinking of running.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, guys, it's now soup, so I can't end with that. So I think the best closing I could probably say is that what is the saying? If real estate is your industry, politics is your business.
Something like that.
And if you're not at
Yeah.
the table, you're on the menu.
That
You're
wasn't even
definitely
close.
they're definitely getting drank with the soup.
Was not even close, but you tried, so it's all good.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much, and thank you to all the Nevada Realtors out there. Hope you have a great, prosperous end of 2023, and more info to come.
And go A's.
Go A's.
It's soup. It's soup.